That was 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now 3.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Teresita Blanco, the Artsy sister, and today we're reading Saturnastra and Nalini. This is chapter 6, part 1. A different kind of evil. Like a baby, he crawled to his jail, and though his legs could barely support him, he seemed in a good mood. When he sat down, he gave a sigh of relief. He coughed a bit, and he said, "Would it have killed you to warn me before you started healing me?" I giggled a little and said, "I wanted to surprise you. I'm sorry you felt pain. However, this body, there's limits to my powers, and I can't heal you while also making it painless. It's one or the other. It's okay, it's fine. At least your healing methods are effective," he said, shuddering, remembering the pain he had felt just mere seconds ago. I got up from the floor and started walking towards the door, and before leaving the room, Leni detained me. Smiling, I said, "I know you are lonely, and I promise to visit you whenever I can. And when I can visit you in person, I will send one of my disciples in my stead. And I program her to aid you in physical therapy, and she'll be your lifetime companion when I'm not around." When I closed the door behind me, I felt sorry for Nalini's dear brother, and I still felt chaos reigning over the forest and something else. And I glanced towards the shore and saw the mage waiting for me. And I entered the boat, and he rowed me back to shore. And on the way back, I commanded Karini to return home. And I also inscribed into her brain the proper method of taking care of Leni. And through her eyes, I saw her set the fire to my house, and she glanced up and saw my father glaring at her from his study. And unlike last time, my father was not doing anything to pacify the town. Something about the nearby burning mansion had hypnotized, and my focus got distracted by the thought of the boat against the new shore. And when I got out of the boat, I saw the other mages waiting for me. Smiling, the leader said, "So did you meet our dogs here?" Yes, I met Leni. And I want to continue to visit him once a day for the next few months, though through her I plan to help him regain his ability to walk. The Magus laughed and said, "So where our goddess failed, this stranger triumphs. It is not Gamir's fault. Bersame's influence is killing your goddess," I said, and the mere mention of King Bersame casted a dark shadow over the group, and we said nothing to each other for a while. Eventually the mage said, "Knowing Bersame, it would not surprise me that his power would surpass those of the gods. Yes, Bersame has death on his side, and he would have swallowed the world whole if it's allowed," commented a different fellow. "Yes, even if we do escape this hell, we will still have to deal with King Bersame," said Magus. "If I had to choose, I would prefer to put up with the overseer. The tales of Bersame's exploits still chill my blood to the core." Again, Magus said nothing for a bit, and Bersame's 200-year reign of terror had taken the fight out of those unfortunate enough to live under his rule. And at times the living envied the dead, and that was one of such moments. And the men around me may have been dark elves, yet their elven blood rebelled against the idea of being lorded over by a being that they considered the inferior. Smiling, I said to them, "Normally I would tell you not to heed the rumor. However, the tales that you have heard of King Bersame are not too far from the truth. In fact, things are far worse than you may suspect." This comment casted another dark shadow over the group, and I gave a sign and tugged at the end of the Magus rope. With a pitiful voice, I said, "Just take me home." He took my hand and then he said, "All right, child. I'll see about taking you home, but right now it's not safe." While walking towards the lake, I looked at the bright tender moon, and I said, Flea moon, when the elves return, they shall make necklaces with your golden locks." As I kept on rambling, I became aware of a presence that was near me. This presence watched my every move, and it followed me all the way back to the surface towards the elven forest. And feeling scared, I fell to my knees, and something rushed at me from the darkness. And as it moved, I did not make a sound. For the presence did not ruffle any leaves, and the silent shade's body felt empty. And when I saw his eyes in the darkness, like windows, they drew me into the darkest reaches of his soul. And I fell deep within his empty gaze, and everything looked pitch black. As his tongue had stood still, I was not with fear, but still I wanted to go. The pitch-black emptiness seemed to dance and seemed to prance around me, and it seemed very agitated, and when my eyes got accustomed to the darkness, I was able to see a new kind of being, and I had heard of such creatures born out of magical anomalies, and they were usually driven by an initial thought or emotion. This one seemed to target only elves, for now. Time, bro?
9 minutes.
I was shocked by the power of the difference between us, and I thought I would have been able to defeat him even with my true body, and for those that don't know, this creature had a childlike mannerisms, and the strangest sound from the rear would draw his attention, and overall he had the look of a shadow in the darkness, and my senses could only detect his movement, and like a black hole his body seemed to absorb any light that fell upon him, and I made a sound for him to draw closer. And as it happened with this sort of anomalous, amorphous being, the creature had the face of a small child, and he clumsily mimicked my movement, and he pressed his big palm against my face and my hair and shoulder, and the thing drew closer and started smelling my hair and face, and the thing opened its mouth wide, and I felt its large fangs against my neck, and he drew back suddenly, and he seemed anxious about his surroundings, and something from the weird had diverted his attention from using me as his plaything, and like a feral cat he crawled on all fours, waiting patiently for something, I do not know what. I felt his rage subside, and once again he turned his gaze toward me, and this creature was pure instinct, his actions impossible to predict. Again he smelled my face and neck, and the back of my neck drew his attention, and he moved my hair away, and felt at the back of my neck with his hand, and he licked the back of my neck, and his strange tongue made me shiver, and he placed his hand on my shoulder, and he gave me a strange look. He passed his hand over his mouth as if washing away a flavor he did not like. Again he looked at my face, and for once the darkness seemed to smile, and he was able to understand Nalini's situation. The whole prospect of a human possessing an elf girl seemed to humor him. I think it was a concept that a creature such as him could understand. Time, bro?
7:36. Is that Rimmer or just the silent demon?
That's the Vicus.
That's Vicus, okay.
Yeah. That's just
No, yeah, when you said fang, I thought it was Rimmer, but no.
No, Rimmer knows each other.
I got it.
You're getting sidetracked. Time, bro?
7 minutes.
The creature crawled around the floor and stared at me with a lazy disdain of a cat. His passive attitude was supposed to put me at ease, and I sat before him and I rested my chin on my knees, and the darkness around me was making me feel sleepy. I asked him, "Do you have a name?" The demon said nothing. Well, she called it a demon, but it could be anything. "My name is Nalini." The creature said nothing. He simply stretched out on the floor like a cat before laying down again. "Do you want a name?" The creature shrugged his shoulder. "I never named anyone, and I borrowed my name and identity from Nalini, and I'm still not certain if I want to stay as Nalini. I mean, I like her name, I like her face, her voice, everything about her. If only she wasn't an elf," I said, feeling around the ends of my room, and the creature allowed me to rant for countless hours. He was a really good listener, and I told him about my old home and my love for my father, and why I chose to leave my mother to travel with my duke and my older sibling. Hugging the creature, I said, "You're such a good listener," and the strange show of affection left the silent creature speechless. He truly did not know what to make of my odd behavior, and he did sense a strange power deep within me. However, I imagine he could not accurately measure our power difference. Then again, I was like veggies for a carnivore. The creature's body grew larger in a frame that felt identical to mine, and the creature mirrored my affectionate hugs. And I took his hand and walked towards the edge of the area, and the creature parted the darkness like a curtain, and when the moonlight fell on him, for a moment he looked like a dark elf version of Nalini, and when he returned to the forest, I took him to the lake. And Harmony sensed the presence of the creature, and it made her flee to the bottom of the lake, and she grew even more frightful when she realized that the presence was trailing behind me. And I took the creature to the lake and had him see its own reflection. The creature's true form had a shadowy ripple reflection, and slowly it grew more solid, and he solidified into a perfect reflection of Leni, the Nalini that I had met so many years ago. And I had forgotten how beautiful and how perfect she used to be, and I bit my lower lip while looking at the the creature's disgusting visage on Nalini, and the demon gave a sardonic smile, noticing the effect that his form had on me. And he would have mimicked her voice too had he been able to, yet even in this new form, he still maintained his silent airs. Time, bro?
4 minutes.
I don't like it how you keep changing forms, using my memories, trying to invoke a person closest to my heart, I said, averting my face from him. The creature seemed hurt by my heart's tone, and his annoying smile gave me an idea. I felt that the creature reacting to the idea of mine, and like before, he became a shadow that slowly took the form of someone, and he assumed the form of a frail boy just a head smaller than mine. And he wore the long sleeved black shirt and black pants with matching boots, and the darkness of his attire made the paleness of his skin stick out. And he had short jet black hair, a small well-shaped nose, and thin pale lips. His most striking feature became his stern blue eyes. They almost seemed to shine in the darkness, at least they seemed to shine to me. This time the creature gave an oddly mischievous smile before making his eyes pitch black again, and he stroked the end of one of his hair strands, and it seemed to be a habit he was planning on developing, and his new form matched his maturity level. With time he would mature into a fully fleshed something or another, or so I fancy. Well, now that you have a defined shape, I suppose you need a name, I said, looking at the creature from head to toe. And a cool breeze passed by, and the clouds parted to reveal the sky bill, and none of the moons shone their timid light upon this world. And I stayed looking at the sky, trying to think of a name for my silent companion. In the end, my mind started to wander, and through my old home started creeping into my mind, and the creature released me from my reverie by tugging at the ends of my robes. You don't want a name? I asked. The creature said nothing. Creatures need names, you know. The creature shrugged his shoulder. Named creatures have more power in this world than living. It aids in summoning an exorcism. You had an advantage over all the creatures. The fact that you cannot speak will make it almost impossible for you to be exorcised. And I said, looking straight into his eye, and I noticed that he was still not convinced about the importance of having a name that he could not pronounce. I decided looking at him and when I entered the water with his hand, the water felt chillier than usual. And I felt some water, and I got some water between my hands, and I poured it over the creature's head. And the creature did not know the significance of the ritual. He simply brushed back his wet hair with his hand. Kissing his forehead, I said, I now baptize you in the name of the third determining factor. May the resonating mind forever shine positively upon you, my son. The creature's eyes glowed with curiosity and pleasure, and he was humoured by the parody of a baptism, or so I fancied. And when we got out of the water, I said to him, from this day forth you shall be known as Vicus, whose name in the Latin tongue means umbra. But in English it means shadow, or silence. So it's Vicus. Time, bro?
1 minute, 30 seconds.
The creature spoke his name out loud. The silence emanated from his voice filled the forest heck the entire world, and for a few brief seconds everything turned still in silence. And once he was fully named, the creature departed the grove to go hunt someone else. Like hunting. The silence of the night departed with it, and by now the sun was starting to rise. And most creatures like him tended to only be active at night, or so I fancy, or maybe being a night walker was just him in specific. And when the son of the forest returned, Harmony rose from the lake, and she seemed shaken by everything she had seen. In a straightforward manner, she asked, in the name of Lord, what did you do? What were you doing with that demon? Why did you name him? Are you possessed? Have you any idea what you have released into this world? I heard her and I said cheerfully, relax.
Hey, less than a minute.
Whatever that is, it only has light up, and he was born because of the Alpha Seer's unnatural light expansion ritual, the Nick or whatever. He will extinguish the flames of the torches that burn too brightly, and besides, you're no longer a light up, so what does it matter to you what becomes of them? I still have family, you know, she said, sulking. Bye-bye.